Ladies and gentlemen, that's my quarterback. His name is Jared Goff. And I will ride with this guy until he is not my quarterback anymore. I love being a Lions fan. I was talking to my wife about this, and I was like, what is it about being a fan? Why are we so distraught when we lose? Why are we so overjoyed when we win? What is it about being a fan that makes us this way? And I'm going to say that I've seen this movie before. And nothing would please me more than for Jared Goff to win a championship with this team. It's hard to do when your O-line doesn't want to block for you. It's hard to do when you have to throw the ball 44 times. It's hard not to turn the ball over. It really is. The same quarterback that brought us back last week, we know who Jared Goff is. We know who he is. Give him time, he'll pick you apart. Pressure him, not so much. Make him scramble, fumbles the ball. A lot of times, Jared Goff fumbles on his scrambles. You would think that he would get it together by now. But, if you touch the ball and you pass, if you touch the ball on every play and you pass 44 times, yeah, you're going to make some mistakes. Didn't throw an interception, right? Didn't make a bad throw. Yeah, you could argue throws could have been picked. But one thing that I don't understand is why are we so quick to turn on our quarterback? The issues that I have with Brad Holmes is the fact that you are the general manager of this team. You scout, you are the decision maker of the team. You control the ship, and you act like we have a pass rush. The issue that I have with Dan Campbell is sometimes his aggressiveness will come back and bite you in the tail. Sometimes it's just plain stupid. We lost a game like this last year because of bad coaching decisions, and today was that, right? One thing I will not do is turn my back on Jared Goff. If you want a new quarterback, it's fine. If you don't like Jared Goff, it's okay for you to say that, but you got to have a reason. When you compare him to the rest of the quarterbacks in the NFL, he's no different. He really isn't. I mean, he has his strengths and weaknesses, but he's not different. Every single quarterback turns the ball over. Every single one fumbles. They all do the same thing. Some do it more than others. But the same quarterback that had no offensive line today, that was fumbling, threw the ball 44 times. And check this out. This was at the half. This is coming from Eric Woodyard's Twitter. Lions QB. Jared Goff was pressured on 45% of his dropbacks in the first half. 9 of 20. That would be the highest he's faced with the Lions and third highest of his career if it holds. Well, Eric, it didn't. It was worse. The same quarterback, the same offensive line that keeps this quarterback upright, is the same one that laid a turd today. There are no turds on this team. Well, the offensive line, all of them today were turds. Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Kobe Sorsdahl, Graham Glasgow, all of them. But we want to blame Jared Goff. We know what his strengths are. We know what his weaknesses are. Blitzing, getting pressured is not Jared Goff's strength, right? We know this. And here's the thing that I love too about Lions fans. We're willing to give Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, two guys that were never doing well. Dan Campbell was an interim head coach. We're willing to give Brad Holmes all the time in the world. We're not going to talk about the bad draft picks like Levi Onwuzurike, Josh Pascal. We're not going to talk about the fact that he didn't get a pass rush. We just zero in on Jared Goff. If you want a mobile quarterback, fine. If you want the mobility, that's perfectly fine. Just say you want that. If you want someone else, if you just don't like the fact that he looks like Ryan Gosling, say that. We've seen this movie already. Build a team. If we have a complete team, I watched the Dallas Cowboys dismantle the Washington Commanders. I watched the San Francisco 49ers beat down the Jacksonville Jaguars. We don't have that team. You can only work with what you have, right? Every franchise quarterback makes bad decisions. Now, as far as Hendon Hooker is concerned, Hendon is not going to be the answer this year. He's not. He's not going to take a single snap at quarterback. The dude is on the NFI list. He still has to come off that list, and we only have 6 games to go. Can't we just wait on the team? You want me to be patient, and you want me to let Brad Holmes work his magic and trust the process and all that stuff. Why do we not trust a guy that went to a Super Bowl? Why do we not trust a guy that had his team 13-3. What is it? I hear in the comment section, everything has to be right. So I heard in the comment section, he can't improvise. Looked like he was doing that to me. He just doesn't do it the way you want to do it. There was a safety. He would have had a safety. He had to step up in the pocket, and he turned that into positive gain. We know who he is. He's flustered he's having some bad games. Yes, but that's still my quarterback. And I refuse to support the Detroit Rams. I refuse to do that. Jared Goff is my quarterback, and that's how it's going to be. Now, whether or not he gets an extension, we got to talk about that. That's something we have to figure out. I would extend him, but that's just me. I'm a basement GM. What I do know is that you don't become bad. Look at Russell Wilson. You don't become bad. You don't become bad. That's not a thing. If you were bad, you're bad. If you're good, you're good. Y'all was ready to write Russell Wilson off, and now he's playing better. 4-game winning streak for his team. 3 or 4 games. This is one of them. Jared Goff is not the problem. He might not be the answer, but he's not the problem either. And I'm going to say something. Monday night, there's a quarterback who's won MVP a couple times. He has 2 Super Bowl rings, and he was not the answer on Monday night. He needed receivers to catch the football. Ones that both hands hit him on the hands catching it, right? Even the great Patrick Mahomes needed some help. Listen, y'all, I will put blame on Jared Goff. He's having 2 miserable games. But at the same time, this was the same guy that stood toe-to-toe with Justin Herbert and beat him. This was the same guy that helped lead a fourth quarter 5-minute comeback against the Chicago Bears. This is the same team, the same guy that continues to take blame and show the responsibility, saying, I can't turn the ball over. I have to protect the ball. If you want to move on from JG, that's fine. But I'm going to support him as long as he's the quarterback of the Detroit Lions. If it comes down to a time that we need to pull him, and I say we do, I feel like we do, I will say it no problem. I have no issue. You don't have the best game all the time. And he's had 2 clunkers. One we won, one we couldn't. I just think it's more things to worry about. I think, and to be honest with you, Jared Goff is the least of my concern for the Detroit Lions. He is the very last thing I'm worried about. If you had to pick a lot of things, we can talk about Jerry Jacobs. We can talk about not addressing the pass rush. We can talk about a lot of things. And out of all the things that bother me about the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff is the absolute last thing. And I will not turn my back on him. So let me know. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. Are you ready to move on from Jared Goff? I'm not. That's my quarterback. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.